Shiva Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Bolo Shri Radhe Govind Bhagwan ki Jai. Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
तो हम लोग अध्याय 10 पढ़ रहे हैं, राइट। और इस अध्याय में जैसा कि देखा, उसके पहले प्रहलाद महाराज और नरसिंह भगवान के बीच में वार्तालाप हो रही है और प्रहलाद महाराज नरसिंह भगवान को ग्लोरिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं, राइट। सो वी सो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रेयर्स, एंड हम लोग एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट these days we'll also hear the Prahlāda Maharaj prayers at the end, right, sometime. And then we saw that Narsingh Bhagwan wanted to give some benediction to Prahlāda Maharaj, but all Prahlāda Maharaj wanted was the devotional service, right? So, and we saw how that whole thing took place. And then Narsingh Bhagwan, actually, almost 21 generations of Prahlāda Maharaj he purified, right? Is Prahlāda Maharaj was just saying to excuse Hiranyakashipu, right, being his father, but Narsingh Bhagwan excused almost 21 generations of Prahlāda Maharaj. And it was mentioned that a devotee in the family takes care of generations, not just that particular generation, right? And so this way, Narad Muni has been telling this story to Yudhishthira Maharaj, that first Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, right, were born. They were killed by Varaha, Bhagwan Varaha, and then and Narsingh Bhagwan. And then we read last week that pierced by the arrows of Lord Ramachandra, both Kumbhakaran and Ravan lay on the ground and left their bodies, fully absorbed in thought of the Lord, just as they had in their previous births as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Right? So as we know, Sanat Kumars gave Shrap to Jay and Vijay, Lord Vishnu's Dwarpal. They will take 3 births. First birth was Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Second one was Kumbhakaran and Ravan. Right? Is what Narad Muni is telling Prahlāda Maharaj. So we'll read from Slok 38. Anil
Abhihad punarjato shishupal karushajo haro vairanu bandhena pashyataste samiyatuh. They both took birth again in human society as Shishupal and Dantavakra, and continued in the same enmity toward the Lord. It is they who merged into the body of the Lord in your presence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And finally, Narad Muni is answering Yudhishthira Maharaj's original question, that how come Shishupal got merged into the Lord's body. So then, after second birth as Kumbhakaran and Ravan, there was a third birth, which was Shishupal and Dantavakra. And that's how Shishupal was killed by Krishna Bhagwan. Ajay?
Inah purva kritam yat tad rajanah Krishna Vairinah jahustate anante tadatmanam kitah peshasya krito yatha. Not only Shishupal and Dantavakra, but also many other kings who acted as enemies of Krishna attained salvation at the time of death, because they thought of the Lord they received spiritual bodies and forms the same as his, just as worms captured by a black drone obtain the same type body as the drone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So finally, Narad Muni is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj that because they were so much in the thinking of the Lord, even though jealous, yeah, they received the spiritual bodies. Reading, yeah, Mayur.
The mystery of yogic meditation is explained here. Real yogis always meditate on the form of Vishnu within their hearts. Consequently, at the time of death, they give up their bodies while thinking of the form of Vishnu and thus attain Vishnu Lok, Vaikuntha Lok, where they receive bodily features the same as those of the Lord. From the 6th canto, we have already learned that when the Vishnu Dutas came from Vaikuntha to deliver Ajamila, they looked exactly like Vishnu with 4 hands and the same features as Vishnu. Therefore, we may conclude that if one practices thinking of Vishnu and is fully absorbed in thinking of him at the time of death, one returns home back to Godhead. Even enemies of Krishna who thought of Krishna in fear, bhaya, such as King Kans, received bodies in a spiritual identity similar to that of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. यथा यथा भगवतो भक्त्या परमयाभिधा निपाक्षेयाधा उदयः सात्मय्यं हरेस्त चिन्तयाययु. By devotional service, pure devotees who incessantly think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive bodies similar to his. This is known as Sarupya Sarup Mukti. Although Shishupal, Dantavakra, and other kings thought of Krishna as an enemy, they also achieved the same result. Yeah. What he's saying is Yatha Yatha Bhagavato, as like the pure devotees keep thinking of Supreme Personality of Godhead, can receive bodies similar to his. Is what is mentioned. Actually, a nice purport. Let's read this. Ananji?
In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in connection with Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Sanatana Goswami, it is explained that a devotee should externally execute his routine devotional service in a regular way, but should always inwardly think of the particular mellow in which he is attracted to the service of the Lord. This constant thought of the Lord makes the devotee eligible to return home, back to Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Takva Deham Punar Janma Naiti Mam. After giving up his body, a devotee does not again receive a material body, but goes back to Godhead and receives a spiritual body resembling those of the Lord's eternal associate, whose activities he followed. However, the devotee likes to serve the Lord. He may constantly think of the Lord's associates, the cowherd boys, the gopis, the Lord's father and mother, his servants and the trees, land animals, plants and water in the Lord's abode. Because of constantly thinking of these features, one acquires a transcendental position. Kings like Shishupala, Dantavakra, Kans, Pondraka, Naraksura, Narakasura, and Salva were all similarly delivered. This is confirmed by Madhvacharya. Punabreke Narake Deva Salva Kamsa Rukmini Avistasa Tu Harer Bhaktas Bhaktya Harim Apire. Pondraka, Narkasura, Salva, and Kansa were all inimical toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because all these kings constantly thought of him, they achieved the same liberation, Sarupya Mukti. The Jnana Bhakta, the devotee who follows the path of Jnana, also attains the same destination. If even the enemies of the Lord achieve salvation by constantly thinking about the Lord, what is to be said of pure devotees who always engage in the Lord's service and who think of nothing but the Lord in every activity? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So the important part mentioned here is that even if the enemies achieve the salvation, right, by constantly thinking about the Lord, the pure devotees who are always engaged in the Lord's service, yeah, they are definitely going to, yeah, attain the right destination, is what is mentioned, right? Ajay?
आख्यातं सर्वं मेतते यन्मा त्वं परिपृष्टवान् दम घोष सुतादीना हरे साम्यं सपि द्विष्वाम. Everything you asked me about Shishupal and others attained salvation, although they were inimical, has now been explained to you by me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this?
Narad Muni is
Narad Muni.
To
to Yudhishthira.
Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yeah, is answering the question of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Mayur?
Esha Brahmanya Devasya Krishnasya cha Mahatmane Avtarakha Punya Vadho Yatra Detyayo. In this narration about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, various expansions or incarnations of the Lord have been described, and the killing of the two demons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, has also been described. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Mayur?
Okay, avatar or incarnations are expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Govinda. Advaitam Achutam Anandim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yavo Nam Cha Vedusha Durlabham Adurlabham Atmam Bhakta Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Amhim Bhajami. I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, who is the original person, non-dual, infallible, and without beginning. Although he expands into unlimited forms, he is still the original, and although he is the oldest person, he always appears as a fresh youth. Such eternal, blissful, and all-knowing forms of the Lord cannot be understood by the academic of the Vedas, but they are always manifest to pure, unalloyed devotees. Brahma Samhita 5.33. The Brahma Samhita describes the avatars. Indeed, all the avatars are described in the authentic scriptures. No one can become an avatar or incarnation, although this has been fashionable in the age of Kali. The avatars are described in the authentic scriptures, shastras, and therefore, before one risks accepting a pretender as an avatar, one should refer to the shastras. The shastra says everywhere that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and that he has innumerable avatars or incarnations. Elsewhere in the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Ramadi, where is it? I lost my...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. Ramadi Mrityusha Kala Niyamena Tishtam Rama Nirsimha Varaha and many others are consecutive expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After Krishna comes Brahma, after Krishna comes Balram, after Balram is Sankarshana, then Anirudh, Pradyumna, Narayan, and then the Purusha avatar. Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Krishnadaksha Vishnu. All of them are avatars. One must hear about the avatars. Narrations about such avatars are called Avatar Katha, the narrations of Krishna's expansions. Hearing and chanting these narrations is completely pious. Sarvatam Sasva Katha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. One who hears and chants can become punya, purified of material contamination. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what is mentioned here is, first of all, Lord Brahma's prayers to Lord Govind, right? Is what is mentioned here, where Lord Brahma describes Lord Krishna, as the original person, Adi, the non-dual, infallible, and without beginning. Without beginning is Anadi. And so he's Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. He expands into unlimited forms. And he is still original, Adhyam, is original, Purana Purusha. That although he is the oldest person, he still looks like now Yavanam Che. He always appears as a fresh youth. Such eternal, blissful, and all-knowing forms of the Lord cannot be understood by the academic wisdom of the Vedas, but are always manifest to pure and unalloyed devotees. So we can study Vedas and everything else, right? It says here, Vedeshu Durlabham. Like it's durlabh for even people who have the knowledge of all the Vedas to understand the forms of Lord Krishna. But what is being mentioned is adurlabham atma bhaktyo. The devotees ke liye this is not difficult at all, is what is mentioned. Govindam adi purusham tamham bhajami is what is mentioned here. And then it says here, one must hear about the avatars. That is the Shavanam Kirtanam, right? Is what we saw. How do you do the devotional service? And one of the ways of doing the devotional service is Shavanam, right? Reading or listening to the narrations of the Bhagavan. So that is what is mentioned here. Hare Krishna, Rinaji.
Hare Krishna. Prahlādasyanucharitam Mahabhagavatasya ca Bhaktirjnanam viraktisya yatharthyam chasya vaihare Sargasthitya apya yeshasva gunakarmanuvarnanam Paravaresham sthananam kalena vyatyayo mahan. This narration describes the characteristics of the great and exalted devotee Prahlāda Maharaj, his staunch devotional service, his perfect knowledge, and his perfect detachment from material contamination. It also describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Prahlāda Maharaj, in his prayers, has described the transcendental qualities of the Lord and has also described how the various abodes of the demigods and demons, regardless of how materially opulent, are destroyed by the mere direction of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. And Prahlāda Maharaj in his prayers, of course, describes the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Gun karma anuvarnanam. Is Dharmo Bhagavatanam che Bhagwan yena gamyate Akhyane ashmina sammanat adhyatmikam sheshatah. The principles of religion by which one can actually understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are called Bhagavad Dharma. In this narration, therefore, which deals with these principles, actual transcendence is properly described. It mentions that what is the religion? The religion is Dharmo Bhagavatanam Cha, which is the real religion which can help you understand Bhagwan Yen Gamyate. One which can help you understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the true religion. And that's what even Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? That Sarva Dharma Paritajya. That's what he means. Like, give away all other religions. The religion is really to understand the Lord Shri Krishna, right? That's what is mentioned. He says, through the principle of religion, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahma, which is the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, and Paramatma, which is the localized aspect of the Lord. So, and when one is well conversant with all these principles, then he becomes a devotee and performs Bhagavad Dharma, Prahlāda Maharaj, the spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession, advised that this Bhagavad Dhamma be instructed to students from the very beginning of their education. Yeah, that's what in the Kul Guru at that time, Gurukul, right? Prahlāda Maharaj was also giving the transcendental message to all the students. Yeah, Anilji?
Ye etat punyamakhyanam Vishnor viryo brahmitam kirtyekshartadya pratya karma pashar vimachyate. One who hears and chants this narration about the omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is certainly liberated from material bondage without fail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Narad Muni continues to say that anyone who is etan punyam akyanam Vishnu viryor bahirpatam. Yeah, and then kirteya shraddha, like with the shraddha, if anyone is Shrutva, like listening, yeah, this Kirtan and about the Vishnu Bhagwan, yeah, is certainly liberated from material bondage without fail. It says karma, like the fruitive activities, pashe vimurchate, yeah, is liberated from material bondage without fail. Ajay?
एतद्य आदिपुरुषस्य मृगेन्द्रलीलां दैत्येन्द्र यूथपवथं प्रयतः पठेत् दैत्यात्मजस्य च सतां प्रवरस्य पुण्यं श्रुत्वानुभाव कम कुतो भयते मे लोकम. Prahlāda Maharaj was the best among exalted devotees. Anyone who with great attention hears this narration concerning the activities of Prahlāda Maharaj, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narasimhadev, surely reaches the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So it is being mentioned further. Anyone who is listening to this Prahlāda Maharaj's narration, right, and Narasimha Bhagwan's prayers is sure to get to spiritual world where there is no anxiety. It says Shutva Anubhav Kuto Bhai Meti. Yeah, there is no bhai there. That's the lokam. Can go back to. Reenaji?
यूयं नृलोके बत भूरि भागा लोकं पुनाना मुनयो भियन्ते येषां गृहाणावसतीति साक्षात् गुणं परं ब्रह्म मनुष्यलिङ्गम्. Narad Muni continued, My dear Maharaj Yudhishthir, all of you, the Pandavas, are extremely fortunate, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna lives in your palace just like a human being. Great saintly persons know this very well, and therefore they constantly visit this house. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Narad Muni tells the story of Shishupal, and then further he is telling to Maharaj Yudhishthir, right? What is he saying? Yuyam niloke bat bhuri bhaga. Right? Like you, the Pandavas are extremely fortunate. Why? Because yesham grihanam satiri sakshat gudham param brahma manushyalinga. Right? The God, Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, lives in your palace just like a human being. Right? So you are extremely fortunate. And because he is living in your place, what is happening is all the great saintly persons who knows this very well constantly visit your house. Is what Narad Muni is telling Prahlāda Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yeah? Mayur?
Any pure devotee who is constantly conscious of Krishna is naturally very fortunate. The word Narloke means within the material world. Indicates that before the Pandavas there had been many, many devotees, such as the descendants of the Yadu dynasty and Vashishta, Marichi, Kashyap, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva, who were all extremely fortunate. The Pandavas, however, were better than all of them because Krishna himself lived with them constantly. Narad Muni therefore specifically mentioned that within this material world, Narlok, the Pandavas were the most fortunate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Sachin.
Hare Krishna. So va ayam brahma maha vimrugya kaivalya nirvana sukhanubhutihi priyah surudava khalu matuleya atmar haniyo vidhi krudlu rukshascha. The impersonal Brahman is Krishna himself because Krishna is the source of the impersonal Brahman. He is the origin of the transcendental bliss sought by great saintly persons. Yet he, the Supreme Person, is your most dear friend and constant well-wisher and is intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle. Indeed, he is always like your body and soul. He is worshipable, yet he acts as your servant and sometimes as your spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So this Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, right, that Pandus are the most fortunate because Priya Shrudhava Khalu Matule means he, the Supreme Person, right, friend and constant well-wisher, intimately related to you as the son of your maternal uncle. And of course, even though he is worshipable, he is the Ishwar, yeah, he acts as servant and your spiritual master as well. Right? Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Jai Shri Krishna. न यस्य साक्षाद्वपद्मजादिभिः रूपं धिया वस्तुतयोपवर्णितमं मौनेन भक्तयोपशमेन पूर्जितः प्रसीदतामेष स सान्त्वतां पतिः. Exalted persons like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma could not properly describe the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. May the Lord, who is always worshipped as the protector of all devotees by great saints who observe vows of silence, meditation, devotional service, and renunciation, be pleased with us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So he's saying like even Bhav is Sambhu, right? Lord Shiva. Padmuj is the Lord Brahma. Even they could not properly describe the truth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. And then they are praying, right? Prasidata, like be happy, says Satvatam Pati, like so, yeah, be protector of all the devotees. And he be pleased with us, is what Narad Muni is saying along with Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yeah. Saesh Bhagwan Rajan Vyatano Dvihatam Yasha Purarudrasya Devasya Mayena Anantamayina. My dear King Yudhishthira, long ago in history, a demon known as Dana, who was very expert in technical knowledge, reduced the reputation of Lord Shiva. In that situation, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, saved Lord Shiva. Right? So Narad Muni then continues to tell Yudhishthira Maharaj about another story of Dana. That's what we will read. Yeah. Says here, Pura Rudra is Shivji Bhagwan. How Krishna Bhagwan assisted Shivji Bhagwan is what we will be reading now. Anilji.
Rajovacha Kasmin Karmani Devasya Mayo Hajjana Dishituhu Yatha Chopachita Kirti Krishno Nanina Katyatam. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, for what reason did the demon Maya Danav vanquish Lord Shiva's reputation? How did Lord Krishna save Lord Shiva and expand his reputation again? Kindly describe these incidents. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narad Muni to describe the story of Dana. Ajay.
Sri Narad Uvaj. Nirjita asura devai yuddhanen neno prabrahinte ite mayanam paramacharya mayam sharan mayoya. Narad Muni said, when the demigods, who are always powerful by the mercy of Lord Krishna, fought with the asuras were defeated, and therefore they took shelter of Maya Danava, the greatest of the demons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Mayam Sharan Mayu. Maya Danav, yeah, who was very powerful. All the asurs go and take shelter of him. Rinaji?
Sonirmaya Purasistro Hamario Pyaya Sirvigo Durlaksha Paya Sanyoga Durvi Tarkya Parikshada Tabhiste Asure Sananyo Lokan Seshwara Vivo Smaranto Nashayan Chakru Purvu Ray Malakshita Maya Danav, the great leader of the demons, prepared 3 invisible residences and gave them to the demons. These dwellings resembled airplanes made of gold, silver, and iron, and they contained uncommon paraphernalia. My dear King Yudhishthir, because of these 3 dwellings, the commanders of the demons remained invisible to the demigods. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the demons, remembering their former enmity, began to vanquish the 3 worlds, the upper, middle, and the lower planetary systems. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so initially Devatas defeat those asuras. They go and take shelter of Maya Danav. Then Maya Danav prepares 3 invisible residences for them. And getting those residences, yeah, they take that opportunity to defeat the Devatas. Right? Mayur?
Tatsate sevara no sevashraya loka upasadya daesvarnam nataha trahi nastavakandave vinatsame tripuralaya. Thereafter, when the demons had begun to destroy the higher planetary systems, the rulers of those planets went to Lord Shiva, fully surrendered unto him, and said, Dear Lord, we demigods living in the 3 worlds are about to be vanquished. We are your followers. Kindly save us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so all the Devatas then go to Lord Shiva. Yeah, Shivji Bhagwan से प्रार्थना करते हैं to save them. Sachin?
अथानुगृह्य भगवान्मा भेष्टेति सुरान् विभुः शरं धनुषि सन्धाय पुरेश्वस्त्रं वयमुञ्चत्. The most powerful and able Lord Shiva assured them and said, Do not be afraid. He then fixed his arrows to his bow and released them towards the 3 residences occupied by the demons. Hare Krishna.
तथोग्नि वर्ण ईशव उत्पेतुः सूर्यमण्डलातः यथा मयूखसन्दोहा न दर्शयन्त पुरो यतः. The arrows released by Lord Shiva appeared like fiery beams emanating from the sun globe and covered the 3 residential airplanes, which could then no longer be seen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sachin?
तैः स्पृष्टा व्यसवः सर्वे निपेतुः स्म पुरोकसः तानानीय महायोगी मयः कुपर से क्षिपित. Attacked by Lord Shiva's golden arrows, all the demonic inhabitants of those three dwellings lost their lives and fell down. Then the great mystic Maya Danav dropped the demons into a nectarian well that he had created. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so first the Maya Danav creates those three places, right, dwellings. And then they try to defeat Devatas. Devatas goes to Lord Shiva. Then Lord Shiva fires the arrow and he takes care of all the three dwellings, right? And then the Maya Danav takes those demons, right? And then puts them into a nectarian well that he had created. So he had created an Amrit Kuwa. Us Amrit Kuwa mein he puts all these demons. Rina ji?
सिद्धामृत मृतरस्पृष्टा वज्रसारा महोजसः उत्तस्थुर्मेघदलना वैद्युता एव वह्नयः. When the dead bodies of the demons came in touch with the nectar, their bodies became invincible to the thunderbolts. Endowed with great strength, they got up like lightning, penetrating clouds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So all these demons appears, I mean they get the strength and comes up again. It is mentioned. Sachin?
Vilokya Bhagna Sankalpam Vimanaskam Vrushadhvajam Tadayam Bhagwan Vishnu Statro Payama Kalpayata. Seeing Lord Shiva very much aggrieved and disappointed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, considered how to stop this nuisance created by Maya Danav. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anil ji?
वत्सश्चासीत्ला ब्रह्मा स्वयं विष्णुरयं हि गौः प्रविश्य त्रिपुरं काले रसकूपामृतं पपोः. Then Lord Brahma became a calf and Lord Vishnu a cow, and at moon they entered the residences and drank all the nectar in the well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when Lord Shiva was disappointed, Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma, yeah, they drank all the nectars from the well. Ajay?
Te sura api pashyantu na nidhesha dhanvin mohita tadvigyay mahayogi raspal nidam jago smay nivishukah shokarta maran devgati chatam. The demons could see the calf and the cow, but because of the illusion created by the energy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demons could not forbid them. The great mystic Maya Danav became aware that the calf and the cow were drinking the nectar, and he could understand this to be the unseen power of providence. Thus he spoke to the demons who were grievously lamenting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay? Rina ji?
Yes, Bhaiya, sorry. Devo asuro naro anyo va neshwaravasti kashan atmano ananasya va distam deve na pohitum vayo. Maya Danav said, what has been destined by the Supreme Lord for oneself, for others, or for both oneself and others cannot be undone anywhere or by anyone, whether one be a demon, a human being, or anyone else. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is destined by the Lord cannot be undone is what is mentioned. We'll continue reading about this, about the Maya Danav and what happens next. Right? We'll pause here. So, and then we are going to listen to Prahlāda Maharaj's prayers, yeah, which we read in previous chapters. We are going to listen to Prahlāda Maharaj's prayers. It's around 21 minutes, but we are going to listen like 7 minutes today and next 2 days. Yeah, so we'll complete it on Wednesday. So let's listen.
Shri Prahlāda Uvaca Brahmadaya Suragana Munayota Siddha Sattvaikatana-gatayo vachasam pravahe Naradhitum puruganeiraduna pipipruhu Kim toshtumarhati same harirugrajate Manyedhanabhijanarupatapashrutoja Teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogaha Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya punso Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayudhapaya Vipradvishadgunayutadaravindanabha Padaravindavimukhad swapacham varishtham Manye tadarpitamano-vachane hitartha Pranam punati sakulam natu bhurimanaha Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalabhapurno Manam janada vidusha karuno vrinite Yadyajjano bhagavate vidadhitamanam Tachatmane pratimukhasya yatha mukhashrihi Tasmadaham vigata viklava ishwarasya Sarvatmana mahi grinami yatha manisham Nicho jaya guna visargamanu pravishtaha Puyeta yena hi puman anuvarnitena Sarve yami vidikarastava sattvadhamno Brahmadayo vayamiveshana chodvijantaha Kshemaya bhutaya utatma sukhaya chasya Vikriditam bhagavato ruchiravatarei Yadyaccha manyumasurascha hatastvayadya Modeta sadurapi vrishchika sarpahatya Lokascha nirvritimita pratiyanti sarve Rupam nrisimha vibhayaya jana smaranti Naham bibhemya jitateti bhayanakasya Jivarka netra prakutira basogradamstra Antrasrajakshatajakesara shankhukarnam Nirhadabhita digibhat aribhinnakagra Trastosmyaham kripanavatsaladusahogra Samsara chakra kadanadgrasatam pranitaha Bhakta swakarma virushattamatengrimulam Pritopavarga sharanam vayase kadanu Yasmat priya priya viyoga samyoga janma शोकाग्निनां सकलयोनिषु दह्यमानः दुःखौषधं तदपि दुःखमतद्धियाहम् भूमन् भ्रमामि वद मे तव दास्य योगम् सोऽहं प्रियस्य सुहृदः परदेवताय लीलाकथास्तव नृसिंह विरिञ्च गीतः अञ्जस्थितर्म्यनुगृणान् गुणविप्रमुक्तो दुर्गाणि ते पदयुगालय हंससङ्गः बालस्य नेह शरणं पितरो नृसिंह नार्तस्य चागदमुदन्वति मज्जतो नो तप्तस्य तत्प्रतिविधिर्य हि आञ्जसेष्ट तावद्विभो तनुभृतां त्वदुपेक्षितानां यस्मिन् यतो यर्हि येन च यस्य यस्मात् यस्मै यथा यदुतयस्त्वपरपरो वा भावः करोति विकरोति पृथक् स्वभावः सञ्चोदितस्तदखिलं भवतः स्वरूपम् माया मनसृजति कर्ममयं बलीया कालेन चोदितगुणानुमतेन पुंसः छन्दोमयं यदजयार्पितषोडशारम् संसारचक्रमजकोटितरे त्वदन्यः।
बोलो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की
जय
प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
जय
So, this is we'll continue hearing this tomorrow and Wednesday. Yeah, we hear the Prahlāda Maharaj prayer to Narasimha Bhagwan. So everyone, have a nice day tomorrow, and then we'll see you back at 9:30. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.